Hello. All right. So, how are you? I see that. Oh, when is the 4th? Tomorrow, right? Time just, I don't even know. Hamilton's joining us today. Let's see how long he stays. Yes, happy 4th to everyone. Did you hear about the girl who was fired from the hot dog stand? Yes, she was caught pulling her hair in a bun. Putting her hair in a bun. Oh, God. All right, George, I like that one too. Okay, so let me start. Geez, trying to start my clock in the background. Okay, so let me see. Carolyn, good morning. Lynn and Dave, good morning. Frida, good morning. Dina, good morning. Anne, good morning. Stevie, good morning. Good morning, yoga friends. Yes, good morning, yoga friends. So there's Hamilton. Let's see how long it stays cute and fun until he starts meowing like crazy. All right. So I teach in 8-week sections or segments, and this is the last of that 8-week session. So I'm off next week, and we will be back the week after that. So I just wanted to say that. And so I'd love to hear if you have any issues in your tissues that you'd like to report, anything in particular. And with this being stress management, I was thinking about a few things. Quite often the last few weeks, I've been focusing on reducing muscular held tension in the body. So a lot of stretching to create space in the joints, lubrication in the joints, and taking that stress out of the body. Today, I would like to go more into a preventative stress role when it comes to the physical body. So really working on the structural aspect of the body and strengthening our structure, because we always will have stress to deal with. And one aspect of stress is the stress of aging. So any of you that are over age 30, which is almost all of us, right? Aging is a stressor on the body. And so that's keeping the body strong, the muscles strong, and the connective tissue and soft tissue mobile and limber is a large part of managing stress or keeping away that future stress. So current stress and future stress. So definitely today is going to be a focus on your structural aspects and keeping that strength in the body. As always, my recommendation is this: you do whatever range of motion you have. And for those of you with issues in your joints, because that's where most of our issues are, right? If you have back aches, it's in the joints, the spine, wrists, in the joints, the bones, the joints. So try to go to your safe place of your range of motion and try not to say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I don't do that. Try to explore going a little bit into a safe zone. And then one more thing I'd like to preface today's class with is this: that I'm taking care of my mom right now. She is 24/7 care because she shattered her kneecap. She's 80 and she has dementia. So she is in the next room. My husband is on my mom duty. So in case at all today during class I need to pop out, I want to share that with you beforehand so you're not surprised, like, what? Where's she going? And I think that is okay. So of course I'll be back if that's the case, and I don't expect it to happen. Got lots of people online and ready to FaceTime if she has a need. And then we'll see how long this guy stays with us, Hamilton, because right now he seems mellow and hopefully he will be, but if he gets a little feisty, I'll need to put him out. All right, so let's go, let's prepare. All right, so Nancy, good morning. All right, so for today's practice, stress management is the focusing on managing the stressors of aging, which happens to all of us after age 30. And some even say that the brain starts to degenerate in our 20s. So there's that aspect of aging I'd like to think about. And then also creating a nice, strong, resilient package that you live in. So whatever stress you come across, you're able to manage. I'm going to begin with a fully loaded restorative yoga pose that is actually the queen of all restorative poses. It's called Supta Baddha Konasana, and it's reclined. I'll have my legs a little bit in the Baddha Konasana position. Now I've got yoga props here. I'm showing you what they are, but you actually can choose whatever you like. So this is a round bolster, and not everybody has a round bolster, but you probably have a lot of pillows at home. And the one that goes underneath your legs could be softer. And then behind my spine, so think about your spine and your back being supported all the way from your head down to your pelvis. So whatever you put there needs to be the length of your torso. You could either put 3 pillows stacked on top of each other, or you could take firm blankets and put it up near the shoulder girdle area. This is a lot of bones here to support, right? You've got your shoulder blades, your clavicle bones, your skull, your neck. There's a lot of bones up here. And so this part of where your shoulders will go would need maybe 2 pillows, and then you could lay one down the center that's going to support the rest of your torso. So choose accordingly, go ahead and get stuff. And then also the other thing is blankets, and you could fold blankets up to be the shape of a bolster here. This is what's called a standard bolster, the shape of this, and you could fold blankets to be this. And then the elevation here for me is the block. For you, it may be pillows. And then having a blanket to support the weight of the head is really nice as well. So this is going to be a nice way to begin. And also, many have trouble coming all the way down on the ground. So this is a nice way to bring you from standing to sitting to a lower position. Are you going to bother me? Are you going to try to get out? Because if you are, I should do it now. Okay, need to put him out, because otherwise we'll be listening to Hamilton cry. All right, you want to go? There's a way outside here. Bye. Okay. So choose whatever props you have. The more props you have, the more body weight you can support. And we're putting our body in a certain shape here. Now, this will be a very open body position. So the things may come up for some of you. So I'd like you to just have things nearby that you need. Another great thing is to get an extra blanket. And I'm going to get one for myself. Now they have things called weighted blankets where it's a heavier blanket. And what that does is it allows for a weight across or on the body, depending on where you put it. And that can be very soothing. All right. So what happens here is you put your tushy on the floor and you have something along your spine. And I really do recommend that even if you don't have access to these things right now, that at some point you come back and watch this video and get whatever you can to do this, because it can be really satisfying to put your body in this position. You have the bolster against the spine and the blanket behind the head, whatever level you need. And for some of you, you may not even want to have anything extra. And then the leg position. So Baddha Konasana is when soles of the feet are together and the knees are out to the side. That's the butterfly position. It's a externally rotated upper leg bone. So it really opens the hip joint. So you could find some version of that, bringing the soles of the feet closer together than the knees are. And the kneecaps are pointing diagonally away from you. That's the indicator that you're in that, moving towards that Baddha Konasana position. And then if you do have a blanket, take a blanket across your belly. Make sure your back of your head is nice and long. Then bring your arms out to the side and allow the arms to relax. Allow the body to relax, bringing your awareness to your body, to whatever position you're in. So you could start to notice what's appropriate for you. Closing your eyes is a nice way to go into a different level of awareness. Trying to notice and sense with different organs other than the eyes, which are the primary input source for the brain. Feel your way into this. Let yourself arrive. Noticing what you notice at first, noticing your breath, noticing how this feels, adjusting in whatever way you need. And then when you're ready, bring your awareness to your mouth. Separate your back teeth. Either let the tongue rest in the lower jaw or let the tip of the tongue rest where the teeth and the roof of the mouth meet. Eyes are closed. Bring your awareness to your left leg, to the left foot, left lower leg, left knee, left leg, the upper leg, the whole leg. And allow your left leg to be as heavy as it can be. So feel it supported by whatever you have supporting it. Feel that left heel melting towards the floor. Bring your awareness over to the right foot, the right lower leg, the right knee, the right upper leg, and the entire right leg. Let the right leg be as heavy as it can be. Bringing your awareness to both legs. Allow your legs to be heavy and release them. Bring your awareness to your pelvis. Be in your pelvis to notice, is there tension anywhere? With your next few exhales, exhale and release tension in the pelvic area. Bringing your awareness now to the spine, the low back, the middle back, and the upper back. Feel the support of whatever is supporting it. As if you could see it, as if you were looking at these body parts. Feel the weight of the front of the low back, which is the whole abdominal area, gently pressing towards the low back. Feel the lower rib area and the organs pressing towards the middle back. And then allow your heart and your lungs to rest towards the upper back. Let your throat be soft. See if you could feel the air coming in your throat and into your lungs. From the nostrils all the way down the back, down the throat and into the lungs. See if you could feel that. The gentle whisper of the breath coming in from outside into your body. We call this your life force energy. You breathe in the outside world, and it becomes the inside world. Can you feel that happening? That invisible flow. Bring your awareness to your neck, to the front of your neck, the sides of your neck, and the back of your neck. Nice and long like a swan or a giraffe. And bring your awareness to your head, which weighs about 10 pounds on average. Allow it to release, let go. You don't have to hold it up. So let all those muscles relax that hold your head on top of your body every day, all day, for however long you've lived in this package, your skin suit. Bring your awareness to your left hand. Notice if your fingers are curling in. Notice the back of the hand on the floor. Let the hand be heavy. Bring your awareness to your wrist, to your forearm. Let your wrists and your forearm be heavy. Bring your awareness to your elbow, your left upper arm, your left shoulder. Let your left arm be as heavy as you can let it be. Bring your awareness to your right hand, the right palm, the right back of the hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, the right upper arm bone, the right shoulder. Let your right arm be heavy. Feel the weight of your arm as you release holding. Feel both arms, heavy, heavy, heavy. Almost like you feel like a magnet is on the earth, drawing your arm closer to the earth. Feel the heaviness. Let go, let go, let go. Bring your awareness to your nose, to your mouth, to your ears, to your eyes, and soften. See nothing, smell nothing, taste nothing. Go inward with your ears. Hear your heartbeat. And start to pay attention to your breath. Notice how it moves you. And start to let your whole torso move with breath. Feel it expand and contract in all directions. Whole torso gets bigger, the whole torso contracts back to center. Bring your awareness to your left leg. Can you let your left leg breathe? Breathe in through your nose, feel your left leg expand. and contract with breath. Try that with your right leg. Try to feel it in the sole. Try to feel that the leg expands as you inhale. Bring your awareness to your left arm. Let your left arm breathe. See if you could breathe out your fingertips. Let it expand on the inhale. Feel it expand. Feel it contract. Bringing your awareness to your left arm when you breathe. And bring your awareness over to the right arm. Do the same thing. All your awareness is in your right arm. Trying to feel it move and expand with breath. Bring the awareness back to the torso. Breathing, expanding. See if you can breathe like a 5-pointed star out of the soles of the feet, out of the palms, and out of the crown of the head. A couple of breaths like this. For these last few breaths, I want you to feel the heaviness of your body. Feel the back of the body, the heels, the backs of the legs on whatever is supporting them, the tushy in the floor, the spine and the back supported by whatever's supporting it, the backs of the arms, backs of the head. Take an inhale, feel your body fill up. And as you exhale, feel the heaviness of your body letting go to everything that's supporting it. You get heavier. Inhale, feel yourself expand. Exhale, feel yourself get heavy. Inhale, expand. Exhale, get heavy. Take one more breath. And bring your awareness to how you're feeling. How are you feeling right now? What are the words you would use to describe the way you feel? Bring your awareness to your fingers. Begin to wiggle the fingers and begin to wiggle your toes. Start to bring more movement into your body, whatever way feels appropriate for you. You could lift the arms up and overhead if that's appropriate for you. As if you just woke up in the morning and you're yawning, reaching one arm overhead. Bring your awareness to your eyes. Notice if there's a heaviness in the eyes. Right where the eyelids attach. Let's see if we could allow the eyes to blink themselves open. If you have a blanket on you, go ahead and remove the blanket. Bend your knees. Let's put the soles of the feet together on whatever you have there. It could be a bolster or blankets, or maybe you don't have anything there. Bring the soles of the feet together. And if the heaviness of the legs feels pretty intense in the hip joint, you could use your hands to support the weight of the legs. Bring the legs a little closer to you if you can. Stretching the front part of that hip, which is where the weight-bearing component is of our hip. So when we want to preserve our joints as we age, having the adductor muscles, the inner thigh muscles, having them limber is really important to create more space in the hip joint, and especially this anterior or front portion where the majority of the forces in the hip joint is that anterior portion. So finding this externally rotated kneecap splitting to the side position could be a way to bring some increased range of motion in the hip. And then go ahead, bend your knees. We're going to bring ourselves onto our side. You could stay on your props if you'd like. Let your spine rest in this position, and then notice how that was for you. That was a lot of sensory awareness and being in the place of noticing and feeling the body. And when we bring the mind down into the body, we stop paying attention or stop the stimulation of our memory thoughts, our subconscious brain. And especially for those of you that have had some bumps along the way in this lifetime or in your lineage from grandparents and wherever you come from, whatever made you you. So that when we're not focusing on things, and even when we are, there's a background memory component in our body that's stimulating things in our body. So when we can bring our brain and more of our brain to the feeling part of our brain, we're not in that part of our brain, that memory part. So especially for those of you that have a lot of triggers or stimulation that comes from your past, things you know or things you don't know and maybe you're discovering. So that can be a really great way to manage stress. Then open up your hand. Let's press away from the floor. So use that hand to press yourself to sit up. And I'd like to say a little more about that because the word trauma is used quite often today, and the word PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, that the D part of the disorder. So there's a lot of talk about our memory thoughts or our subconscious thoughts. And there is evidence to show, and in yoga, the wisdom teaches us that the more we do this present moment, bringing ourselves to this part of our brain, it actually helps to stop those memory thoughts from happening, and sometimes reprograms whatever was in the background, whatever would have stimulated you that it could have caused some issues in your body or your mind. It actually repatterns them in that moment. And sometimes that's a way to process them and to never deal with them again. So that's why present moment and meditation and breath work can be so powerful for healing. And they're the most powerful tools in the practice of yoga. Okay, so let's get our space ready to help to strengthen this package. Move your stuff off to the side and out of your way. It's like magic. I just throw things and they disappear. If only. If only that were the case. All right. Aren't my bolsters beautiful? If you want any bolsters, get in touch with me. I'll tell you about my favorite bolsters, favorite company. And all right, so for today's practice, a block, a strap, and a blanket are the basic necessities that you'll need. All right, let's come on to all fours to begin. That was a pretty, I don't know about you, but I feel super relaxed and super tired in my mind, or very relaxed, I guess is a word. Very interesting, that fine line between relaxed and fatigued, right? Let's take the toes under, flip the toes under. 1, flip the toes under. 2, bring your awareness to your hands, walk them forward. And then let's go forward and back. Keep your head looking forward, forward and back. Bring your hands. Can you bring your fingers to face your knees and your palms on the floor? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Let's stretch our wrists, see what's appropriate in the wrist joint. Remember, you're going to do what you can do. So if you cannot do this, then come up here and stretch your hand this way, because that's what we're doing. Stretching the underside part of the forearm. And then we're going to flip the backs of the hands onto the floor. I will say that this is pretty intense. And so you have to be practicing quite a bit and have really limber wrists to do this one. And so if this is not available to you, you try it up here and you push the hand towards you. Now the top part of the forearm is getting stretched. So right away, beginning to open up those hands. Come up, if you're not up already, and shake your wrists. So one of the greatest ways to strengthen your body, to help with stress, to help the breakdown that happens in the body with age, is plank. We're going to start right away with that. It's a pretty big one. So we're going to go from completely relaxed to a lot of activity in the body. I think that's a nice thing to do, because one of the things about creating more resiliency in the body is to stress your body out in a managed way. So we went from relaxed to stimulation. So we're going to go in these extremes and help to create resiliency in the body. So the plank position can be in a full posture, can be in a modification of the posture. And for those with wrist issues, you can come down into a modified dolphin or a full dolphin. Okay. I'm going to count this for 1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour. Oh my gosh. Could I ever do an hour? That would be a major, major thing to build towards. We're going to do it for 1 minute. Okay. You don't have to do an hour. You only have to do a minute. And you don't have to do a minute. You have to do however long you can do. So bring your hands forward. Put your hands forward. Let's take 1 foot back and let's take the other foot back, coming into whatever version of dolphin is a good one for you. You're going to push away from the floor with the hands, push away from the floor with the feet. Make sure that all 10 fingers are pressing into the floor and all 10 toes are pressing into the floor. And then breathe. And then go ahead and bring yourself down. So I didn't talk much during that one because I wanted you to deal with whatever was coming up. And that's a way to train your brain, because your brain's going to be, oh my gosh, how much longer? Are we close to the 1 minute? Can I do this? Or whatever self-talk happens for you. Let's bring yourself onto your shins. Take your hands down alongside the body. It's kind of like a half stand. So take your hands down. Remember, I was talking about the front part of the hip joint is where most of the pressure from above comes. So being in this position here, we're actually still loading in our hip joint. So I'd like you to take your hips and try to move your hips or your lower body in a circular pattern. So moving in a circular pattern, take your hands on your waist. Now, if you'll notice, my head actually isn't moving, right? My head and really my upper torso, my whole rib cage area is trying not to do very much movement, maybe a little bit across the bottom. So see if you could do this, right? This is not, I'm not doing this going in circles. I'm trying to isolate it in this part. It's like a hula hoop. So I'm sure that many of the women here have done hula hooping in their lives. I don't know about the men, maybe when you were young boys. I know as girls did that. It's actually a really amazing thing for pelvic health, for low back health, hula hoops. Bring yourself back to center. If you have grandchildren, get a hula hoop and hula hoop with them. Learn how to hula hoop. Maybe be near a wall in case you move too much and you move yourself off course, or be somewhere where you can hold on to something, as silly as that may sound, with your hula hoop. All right, let's go in the opposite direction. So we're going to do the opposite direction hula hooping. And then bring yourself back to center. So I did say that we were going to work on keeping this package strong and healthy for aging. So I'm going to tell you that to have that mobility, to have that ability to move, and when you do move, you actually help to get rid of stickiness and things that could become tight and rigid eventually. You help to move them and get them back into the system so they don't get there and get sticky and make you really tight. All right, let's take a foot to the side. This is gate latch pose. This has a lot of benefits in it. So the toes are pointing forward. The leg is coming right off of your body. And right here, now we're going to be at the side part of that hip joint. You're going to try to move your pelvis side to side, keeping this hip joint healthy. And then also now this will go into knee health as well and ankle joint health. And this is going to translate into better balance. Better balance is going to be into less likelihood of falling. Less likelihood of falling is going to be preventative for bone health and reducing future fractures. So all of the things that are important to us, so many areas we can focus on. And all of those become major stressors and reduce your quality of life. So we're starting now to ward off the future. And then you're going to push the foot. So you're pushing, this leg bone is pushing and the pinky toe edge is in the floor, and you activate that arch to lift the arch up. Now, the thing about yoga postures is that there's an end range of motion for those postures, and we have to find our way in that posture towards the end range, whatever our body will do, however deeply our joints will bend or our muscles will support us in that posture. Right here, this hip joint, can you bend this hip joint a little bit more? Get nice and tall. Now for me, this is where I have my hip replacement, and my hip replacement is back here, is where I would dislocate. I won't dislocate, but just saying, like, if you worry about dislocation with a hip replacement, you worry if it was put in the back, you worry about that. If it was put in the front, you worry about that. So for those with hip replacements, notice what tension you're creating and how that feels, only going to a place where the tension is appropriate for you. And then take that hand on the leg, take the other hand to the side, reach up and get as tall as you can. And then bend yourself over to that side. Feel the stretch on this side. Push the leg you're standing on into the floor and reach that hand up towards the sky so you're as long as you could be, and then press your heart forward, open your throat. And then take that hand, bring that hand behind your head, push the elbow back, open your armpit, open your throat, and then tailbone down towards the ground and lift your heart. Take one more breath. And then slowly, slowly bringing yourself out. Spoke mostly about this side. Want to say that then we came into stretching and creating space in the opposite side. And that's important for shoulder health and for low back health and for spinal health, so we don't fracture our spine if we have osteoporosis or if we get osteoporosis. All right, let's do the other side. Who knew that each posture had so many potential benefits, right? And everything that I do in these classes that I teach, everything, I feel a lot of strength or flexibility because I go to my edge. So there is a place you could be in this where you're just hanging out and doing nothing. And then there's a place where you could really be trying to go as deep as you can. So now we're gonna sway the hips. So I'm bending and releasing, bending this joint and releasing. I'm not bending my knee. I'm not letting my foot flatten on the floor. I'm bending this hip joint. That's what's happening. Now again, posterior hip on this side, be in your hip. So any of my hipster sisters and brothers out there, fellow hipster sisters and brothers. All right. So then you're going to come into the bend that's appropriate for you. Your foot, activating the arch, pushing the pinky toe edge into the floor. Really active foot helps with balance, ankle joint health, foot health. The whole calf area, second most important muscle to the heart health is the calf, to be able to pump the blood back up to the heart. Take your hand down alongside your body. Take this hand here. So this hand is going to go here. Palm faces forward. And then you're going to inhale to reach up. When you get up, lengthen yourself on that side. Be nice and tall. Get tall, like a taller again, like you were when you were 18. And then laterally flex, side bend. Press your heart forward. Push your heart forward. Lengthen. Hand goes down the leg. Feel the stretch wherever you're feeling it. And then take your hand behind your head. Reach your elbow away. Push your heart forward. Tailbone pointing down towards the ground. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back up. So for those with back issues, these side bends, the lateral flexion, stretches the muscles that can give more space in the low back and also release tension held in those muscles. Be careful when you're doing this, what's appropriate range of motion for you. And don't let your back feel like, what's happening? Don't let it go into a place of tension. So you have to breathe through it and be in your body to go to wherever your safe range of motion is. All right. Let's do a spinal balance to strengthen your back, to strengthen your postural muscles so that your back will always have you, right? You always want your back to have you. You know how you say to someone, I've got your back? Well, you want it to be you that has your back. All right, hands are on the floor. If your hands are bothering you, you could roll up your mat or you could come into fists for wrists, making fists for wrists so that you don't have a bend in your wrist. You take the bend out and you come into a fist. So whatever is appropriate for you. Let's slide the right hand forward, slide the left hand back. Inhale, lift up really high. Come into a really strong back bend here. And then exhale, bring your right elbow towards your left knee. Inhale into your extension. Everyone can do this. If you have osteoporosis, only bring the knee towards the elbow. Don't bring the elbow towards the knee. If you don't have osteoporosis, bring both of them towards each other. Inhale and exhale. And that's because you don't want to put pressure on the front of your spine where half of all the fractures are, and you don't need to do it. You're still getting great benefit with what we're doing. Last one, stay here, stay out here. Look straight down or a little forward. If you want a little bit more balance challenge, take your right foot off the floor. Contract your core, push your belly button to your spine. Lift your left leg, lift your right arm. Reach out your fingers. One more breath. And then go ahead and bring your hands down. Slide your left hand away, your right hand. Inhale to lift. Come into a pretty strong back bend. Exhale, knee to elbow Or if you have osteoporosis, knee comes in towards the heart, elbow stops around shoulder height. Really come into a strong back bend. And lengthen through this. One more. Come here and stay here. Contract the core, lift your left foot off the floor if you'd like to challenge yourself with balance. Push your right fingertips into the floor to disperse the weight of the right arm, right wrist. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself out. Sit back on your feet if you can, or stay up in the air if the knees won't let you do that. Whatever it is okay. Take your wrists, clasp your hands, keep your forearms together, move your hands around. It's nice for the wrists in one direction and then in the other. And then shake. All right, let's go down onto the ground. Take your blanket, bring your blanket up to the top of your mat. Make sure you have a block. Make sure you have a strap. And then before we go down, for those of you that could do this, this is good for pelvic health, pelvic floor health. Helps to tonify the lower part of the torso. A squat. So if you can come, I know not all can, with your feet flat on the ground, and a lot can't do the feet flat on the ground. So you could fold up the blanket and have your heels elevated on a blanket. And then the knees are wide, the arms are on the inside, the palms are together. And then if you do get down into this, can you lift up a little bit to come a little bit out of it? So you're not dumping in your lower body. This helps to tonify the pelvic floor. While you're down here, if you want to feel an inward, upward lift of your pelvic floor when you're here, take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. For those that have this range of motion, keep using it. For those that don't, if you're close, you could try to get back to it. And if not, it's okay. Let's take your legs really wide here. Let's move our legs side to side. Go slow, rolling across the soles of your feet, letting your kneecaps be what moves the most. Kneecaps move all the way towards one side, all the way towards the other. The next time one comes in, let it stay there. Let the weight of the leg be falling in towards the side. Push your heart forward and try to turn your chest the opposite direction of the knee that's in towards the middle. Gently. It's a twist. It's a rotational force in the trunk. Take one more breath. And then bring your legs back up slowly. Let's go the opposite direction. So let the other knee come in. And then you press your heart forward and you add a little bit of a rotational force in the opposite direction of the knee that's coming in. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center, sitting on your body. Let's take our arms pretty far away, fingertips face away from us, wide legs. Inhale, and then exhale, chin to chest. See if you can feel that upper back and neck stretching. Keep your teeth together. Inhale, chin up towards the sky. Feel the throat, neck area stretch. Exhale, chin to chest. Bring yourself back to center, side to side with your head. And then rotate, look around, look around. Bring yourself back up. Let's do one seated twist before we come down onto the ground. Take your blanket, sit on your blanket. Now, when we do anything where we are seated or standing or half standing, we have gravity helping to stretch muscles. So it's a deeper ability to stretch when we're in this kind of a position. So you're going to come with your legs straight, and then you're going to bend one leg. And the leg that you bend, you put the block behind you of the side that you're going to, of the bent leg. And the foot could be close to your body or a little bit farther, whatever your joints let you do, your hip joint and your knee. And then if you do have some stored energy right here, and you need to take it and move it to the side, might sound weird, but I had to do that before my hip replacement when I had lots of stored energy. And I had to pick it up and move it to the side to be more effective in my rotation in my trunk. So do what you need to do. Take your arm, use your arm to get tall, push down in the block. So what I don't want you to do is this: don't have the block behind you, and don't be leaning on the block, okay? You want the block close to you. You want to push down to get tall so you can rotate. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower ribs, middle ribs, and upper ribs rotate, rotate, rotate. Deep breaths down to your belly. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's go to the other side. Block behind you, bend your knee, flex your foot, hold onto your leg, take your hand on your block. So get nice and tall here. You want to make sure when you rotate, you're not rounded. So no flexion in the spine. You want to be as tall as possible. That's why that block's there to help you. Inhale. As you exhale, low ribs, middle ribs, upper ribs, rotate, rotate, rotate. Lower your shoulders, slide your shoulder blades towards each other. And then take deep breaths down to your belly. Stay in the posture. Be nice and firm and disciplined in each posture that you find yourself in for however long you're going to commit to staying in it. Take one more breath. And then slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself all the way out. Okay. So take your blanket. Open up your blanket. Bring yourself to the side, reach your hand down and bring yourself onto the floor. Take your arms overhead, take your legs long. We're going to do what's called Bananasana. Let's take your feet, walk your feet over to the right corner of your mat. Pick up your left leg and cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Legs are straight, knees are not bent. Keep your shoulder blades on the floor. Keep your hands very close to the floor. Let your right hand take hold of your left wrist and reach your left arm up towards the wall behind you and then bend to the right. So if I were looking from above or someone was looking from above, they would see your body is like the shape of a banana. That's why they call it Bananasana. It's not a real posture. And so you look like a banana because you're angling towards the right and your body's very close to the floor. Deep breaths to your belly. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Take your feet, walk your feet over to the left.
right ankle over left, left hand takes a hold of right wrist, reach the right arm up towards the wall behind you, and then laterally flex to the left, stretching the right side of your body. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself out. Bend your knees. Push your feet into the floor. Lift your pelvis up and place it back down in the ground. So to work on stability and keeping our body nice and strong to support us through everything we go through, we did the plank posture, will be good for that, as is the spinal balance where you're lifting limbs off the floor. So let's do a nice supine. When you're on your back, it's called supine, a supine stability sequence. Take your block between your knees, walk your feet anywhere, like just take the feet up and down and then put them into the more neutral position. Then walk them closer together so they're block distance. And let's do some squeezing and release. Squeeze and release, really strong. Squeeze and release. Now I want you to squeeze, flatten low back, which is a posterior pelvic tilt, and release. Squeeze, posterior pelvic tilt, and release. Squeeze, go strong here. Flatten your low back, and release. Squeeze, stay here. Little pulses on the block, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Working those adductors, low back is pressing into the floor. And then soften. Take your hands behind your head, clasp your hands behind your head, elbows are out to the side. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, squeeze the block, flatten the lower back, lift the upper body off the floor. If you have osteoporosis, keep the nose up towards the sky, the elbows out to the sides. If you do not have osteoporosis, you could bring the chin to the chest and the elbows towards each other, coming a little higher, more flexion in the upper spine. Slowly, inhale to lower, let the low back release from the floor. Feel the pelvis heavy in the floor. You do not lift your tissue off the floor. Soften the block. And then exhale, squeeze, flatten lower back, lift the upper body wherever you're going to. Go slow with this. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale, stay here, squeeze the block, flatten the low back, lift the upper body up. Inhale to lower. Keep the arms here. Inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the block, flatten the lower back, lift the upper body, and then direct the left elbow over towards the outside of the right knee. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Right arm off to the outside of the left knee. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Inhale to lower. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze the block when you come up. Flatten the low back. See if you feel or notice any adjustments in your joints. I feel that in mine. Next time you come up to the right, stay there, little pulses. And then lower, take a break here. On your next exhale, rise. Squeeze the block, flatten the low back, and then pulses. And then go ahead and lower. Let's take the block out for a second. Draw the knees into the chest. Let the low back flatten. Let your legs go up towards the sky. You could hold on to them if you need. And then grab your strap. We're going to take our strap. You're either going to make a loop for your strap or you're going to tie it in a regular kind of tie. We're going to put our feet through the strap. Let the strap come to the upper part of the leg. And your leg is not very far apart, maybe like a fist, if you put a fist there. And then you're going to bring your block between your feet. Bring your legs towards the floor. Your feet towards the floor. So your feet have the block between them. You have the strap on the upper thighs. You're pushing out on the strap. That's going to activate side of your body. Take your hands down alongside your body. Now, I will say that having a little bit of an extra fold here is helpful. So you could fold the blanket to support the head a little bit more. And that could be really supportive here. Then take your hands down alongside your body. Let's work to push out on the strap and flatten the low back. And then release. Push out on the strap, flatten the low back, and release. Push out on the strap, flatten the low back, and release. One more. Push out on the strap, flatten the low back. So we're going to do that action and we're going to activate the core. So take the hands down alongside the body. They're going to help you. Squeeze the block with your feet and push out on the strap. Posteriorly tilt the pelvis, flatten the low back. Inhale. As you exhale, can you lift your block only 1 inch off the floor and then lower it? Only 1 inch. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower it. The higher you lift the block, the less work you're doing on what we're trying to do. So if you lift it too high, you're not doing as much work. And you don't want one momentum to lift it off. We want to try to work on the stabilizing aspect of the pelvis, of the spine, of the hip joint. So it's a challenge to only come off the floor 1 inch. Let's prepare again. Squeeze the block, move out on the strap, flatten the low back into the floor. Inhale. As you exhale, lift the block off 1 inch. Inhale to lower. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more and then we'll hold. Next one we're going to hold. Stay here. Flatten the low back. Push out on the strap. Contract your core. Push your belly down towards your spine. Squeeze the block. Push out on the strap. And then inhale to release. Woo! Bring your legs up into the air. And then try to get them towards straight. Try to get them to be right above your pelvis. Try to get the soles of the feet to reach up towards the sky, and then little pulses. And let your whole pinky toe edge be even. Don't be like a duck foot. Don't let just the pinky toe go first. Let the whole entire pinky toe edge go. And especially actually the lower heel. Let that part be what's really moving towards the sides. Take 1 more breath. And then go ahead, bring the knees into the chest. Take the feet on the floor, move the block to the side. Keep your strap there. Take your blanket away from the back of the head, lengthen the back of the head, and then walk your feet away from your body about 6 inches. Hands are down alongside your body, palms are up towards the sky. So we're going to do a back bend, a bridge flow. I want you to really think about peeling your spine off and then placing your spine back down. So this is not about lifting your pelvis off and getting high away from the ground. This is about peeling your spine off as you come into extension and then placing your spine back down through a flexion position. So you're trying to peel it up and then place it back down. And when you lift off the floor, feel the weight of your body coming away from the floor up to about the heart area, because we're going to be moving our head with this. This will help to loosen up shoulder area, loosen up the neck area, strengthen the lower extremities, a lot of that stabilizing, strengthening, keeping you young, vibrant, healthy, and out of pain, joint supportive, bone supportive, all that good stuff. Palms are towards you, thumbs are up towards the sky. Push out on the strap. Exhale. As you inhale, let your pelvis come away from the floor. Peel it away one vertebra at a time. Let the left hand come up and let your hand rotate to the right. Exhale, place the spine down slowly as you bring the hand down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Close your eyes if you can to feel what you're doing. Going slow, trying to get all the muscles to work in unison and harmony. Last one on each side. Bring yourself back to center. Let's take the feet, walk the feet a little bit closer to your body. Posterior tilt, flatten the low back, even on both sides. Top of the pelvis is touching. Press your feet into the floor, squeeze your block. Lengthen the back of the neck. Arms are down alongside your body. And then peel your spine away a little higher this time. Arms stay down alongside your body, all the way up to your heart. Inhale and exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. This next one, we're going to come up and we're going to stay for 3 breaths. At the end of that 3rd breath, you're going to bring yourself all the way down. Bring your blanket back behind your head. Bring your knees to your chest. Take your strap off. Strap to the side and draw your knees into your chest. Rock across the top of your pelvis, all the way side to side. And hold on behind your thighs. Bring the soles of the feet up towards the sky. A little wider with your legs now. And let the top thighs come closer to your body. Feel that relaxation or massage in the low back. If you're able to grab onto big toes or to the feet into happy baby, do that. Or hold on behind the top thighs. And then let's bring the soles of the feet together, rocking side to side. And then bring your legs onto the ground. We're going to come into the final rest position, the Shavasana, allowing the integration of everything we just practiced to seep into every cell in your body. So get whatever you need. We had a lot of props at the beginning, or whatever you want to do. You could come into a full extended position in a Shavasana, or you could grab props and let yourself be fully supported. Do what's appropriate for you to have the most relaxation possible in your Shavasana.
Govinde Mukande Udare Apare Hariyam Kariyam Yamame Akame Govinde Mukande Udare Apare Hariyam Kariyam Yamame Akame Govinde Mukande Udare Apare Hariyam Kariyam Nyaname 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 Akame
Govinde, Mukande, Mudare, Apare, Hariam, Kariam, Niname, Kame. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Breathe down to your feet. Bring your awareness to your fingers and toes. Start to move them. Slowly bending your knees to bring the knees into the chest. Massaging your lower back, coming into a flexion position. And then bring yourself onto your right side. Or whatever side actually. Depending on whichever side you'd like, you're going to push yourself away from the floor, bring yourself up into a seated position to close the practice with sound. We'll close the practice with Om, blending the Ah, O, sounds together. Nice long spine, length in the back of the neck. Thumbs touch the sternum bone, hands are together. The mouth begins open with the Ah. As you slowly close it, you're going to go through the vowel sounds Ah. Bringing the energy from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head. Let's prepare by taking a big exhale. Inhale all the way down to your lower spine. We bow to each other in Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. All right. So, little strengthening there. Hopefully you stayed in the appropriate place for you. And I'm off for a whole week. So, my Saturday class will resume again in 2 weeks from now. And yeah, anybody have anything to report? Love to hear from you. If you have anything to share. It is, I know. I started off mellow. I swear I could almost fall asleep today at the beginning. You're welcome, Nancy. Hi, Steve. Happy 4th to you. Love having you out there. Great. Yes, Frida, thank you. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you in, I don't know, not next week, but the week after. Happy 4th. See you later. Bye. You're welcome, Dina. You're welcome, Carolyn. Yes, thanks. Bye-bye.